Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another video. And this video is, this video is kind of a celebration of the wonderful year that was 2020 and kind of, this channel just so far. So I decided, why not just celebrate by making a sequel video to one of my most popular videos. Which, if you don't know the video I'm referring to, is the original SpongeBob video. Which, funny enough, I actually still get comments on that video, to this day. Not like this exact day, but recently. Which is surprising, because it's such an old video. And it's, you got, tons of views. So I'm like, might as well milk it while, it's still there and make a sequel. And, so that's what I'm doing. It's kind of like I'm just showing off some of the figures I did make and improved in that video. And also showing off some new figures. Just to kind of, show off new figures and show off some old figures to, reintroduce you guys to it. If you guys haven't seen that old video, and plus that old video was 90% my hand and 10% the actual figure. So to improve that, I finally did it. I got a minifigure stand. So I can now display minifigures without having, my big clunky hands in the way. Isn't that just beautiful? It makes a bit of a noise when I turn it. I don't know if that's gonna be much of an issue. I'll figure out how to, because it's not really smooth right now. So I'll figure out a way to improve that in the future. But for now, I got this minifigure stand, so I can actually display minifigures. So yeah, I know everyone else has one, so I finally decided to get one. I know no one really complains about my hands in the videos, but I think they're kind of, in the way sometimes. So first off, let me just show, this SpongeBob showcase. So let's show off SpongeBob. Like I said, a lot of these have already shown off. This is kind of not a full sequel to the video. It's like I'm probably going to call it SpongeBob 1.5 or something, like Lion King 1.5. But this SpongeBob figure, this one's actually pretty easy to make if you want to make it yourself. This is one of the earliest figures I did make. I improved them recently. So the main point is you just want to get the Homer Simpson arms, right? The hat is, fairly simple. Just some studs on kind of the tooth-looking piece. And then secret formula. But the only thing that's really customized about this is the legs. There are no legs that come in that color. There are triple molded legs, as I like to call them. But this one, it's in blue, and the top, I think, is also blue. So it's for Bart Simpson. And all you gotta do is really just paint over the blue and black, and then the brown, then the top blue and brown. So it's his pants and whatnot. And that torso is just a random yellow torso I have. Most simple figure out of all of them. But I do like how he turned out. So it's figures have already shown off. I'm just going to go through the figures I think I already showed off and have kind of the least amount of improvement. Here we have Super SpongeBob from the second SpongeBob movie. I just gave this guy a quick repaint so it's not as glossy as you can tell. And the legs, I used the same method on legs. Did I repaint them? Yeah, I should have cleaned that up a little bit. But for this one, I redid the paint on the top so it looks a lot cleaner, as you can see there. This one is also another, not simple, but you got the same leg method. This head was actually from a sponge, I forget what figure. It was like a Super SpongeBob, but it wasn't obviously the one from the second movie, but it looked like that one, so I just used it. Then also for the top, for this little bubble blower, I used I think a little stick piece and then a little a stud with a hole in it to get that kind of hole effect. And then I glued that onto an axle piece and then made a buffer, gave him a little tie. So this is actually one of the earliest times I used this method where I use the axle piece and then I make it look kind of like it's not for axle, not techie and want to have to smooth everything out. And it's a shame Nexo Knights is kind of dead because now the axle. Now I don't think they're going to use the axle piece anymore. So that piece is probably soon going to be retired. And soon, I don't know, it might become really expensive. Who knows if the axle piece will live on? Because I think they were planning to make a Lego movie with the axle piece involved. It wasn't it was like the racing Lego movie they were planning to release. I forget what it was called. Alright, going down the list. This one, actually, I'm going to show figures that did majorly improve from the last time. And here we got Sandy Cheeks in her not astronaut. It looks like an astronaut helmet, but she uses it for scuba. It's a scuba helmet, even though it looks like an astronaut suit. Whatever. But her without her suit and her kind of casual clothes. Last time I had her with the tail, I decided to remove it and decided to have her with little not a skirt. It's like is it called a skirt? I don't know. So that piece, which I just repainted in purple, and because last time I just had a little line painted there to represent it. Now I actually have the physical piece. Then underneath there, you got the green shorts or underwear, I don't know. And yeah, so I just kind of repainted this, the torso a little bit, so it's cleaner than last time. Maybe I should give it some outlines to make it look even better. I don't know if that would be a good idea or not. And she has the same head as before, just, like I said, she's missing the tail. So maybe I should figure out a way to glue the tail to the skirt piece. Maybe that'll make it look even better. But that's the improvements I made to Sandy Cheeks. Let's go on to the next. Now after this, I think I have 2 more figures to show than I have. I only have really 2 new ones. So sorry about that. But this one I'm really proud of. I showed, I think, a version of Patrick off in the original, but it wasn't this. I decided to make Pink Patrick because, Pink, I think, ever since there was one idea set that involved a Pink Patrick, which I was thinking, like, holy crap, how come no one has thought of this before, using actual pink instead of, the flesh tone, which, now looking back, it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense to use pink. And it's funny because I actually have a friend in the real world. I know it's kind of crazy, but he thinks that Patrick is orange. Every time I ask him what color is Patrick, he'll always say orange, and everyone will be like, "No, he's pink." But he's like, "Nah, Patrick's orange," which makes no sense. I think he might be a little bit just not that right in the head, but. Here we got Pink Patrick. Just repainted the head in a pink color. Also, you got that pants in the lime green and little purple spots. I thought it turned out well. And yeah, it's just a lot. And it actually made it look like it's dual molded instead of what Lego did. Except in the back, which Lego would, if they did this, they would do dual molded. And if they did SpongeBob now, yeah, I hope they do, because I think the major improvements you can make to SpongeBob figures, like Squidward, SpongeBob, and even Mr. Krabs, make dual molded arms, because I don't think they had dual molded arms back when they did SpongeBob. So the figures were kind of lacking in that department. But now dual molded arms exist. Now they could do it, but unfortunately, I don't know if they have the license or what. But unfortunately, I actually did not make Squidward. I really want to make Squidward. I just don't have the piece. I should probably order it off of Bricklink or something. But there is Patrick. Now, actually no, we got one more. I think this one actually gave a complete redo of the paint job, which is DoodleBob. Yes, now if you compare it to the last version, you can go check and watch the video. I redid the face, repainted it. Gave him kind of silver speckles in there because I thought it looked cool and kind of more accurate. I repainted the color of the pencil piece. Now, instead of the color it was before, it's that light flesh color. I thought it kind of looked accurate to a pencil. You could tell me if it doesn't. But I thought it looked cool. Like I said, kind of just cleaned it up a bit. And this pencil, if you don't know, if you haven't seen the last one, which is, last video, which is fine. There's a bar that goes through this, and then this studs with holes in them, And then this is like the ice cream scooper, the ice cream cone piece in black, which I believe I found in the Hobbit set. And then just painted over it to make it look like black lead. And yeah, so that's the giant pencil that DoodleBob has. I've only made a few characters in this with accessories. But yeah, then paint it on to kind of indicate the little feet he has. And then lines it on. So I should have made his hands black, or whatever. But I really like how this turned out. This is kind of one of the more original ones out of all of them. I would say probably this and then this Super SpongeBob. Because the rest, a lot of people have made customs of them before, but I've barely seen any customs of DoodleBob and not Buff SpongeBob. He's like Super SpongeBob, whatever his name is. Now on to the figures that weren't in the original video. So I've just shown off improved figures so far. Who do I want to show off? Actually, I kind of have 3 figures. Kind of 2, depending on how you count. I'm going to show off, I'm going to show off that one off. I think I did show off this guy in the past, Plankton. Let me get this guy out of the back so you can see his actual antennae. Plankton, he's made from a baby Groot piece and just kind of painted over. I really should, that paint I used when I originally made this is a bit glossy, so I should give him like a matte finish. But, he's Plankton. Maybe Planktons, they live in the sea. They're glossy. So it works. So Plankton here, just pretty simple figure to actually make if you want to make this yourself. I mean, if you know how to customize, just green stuff antenna. And then, then I kind of just green stuff over it to kind of make it look like one body. Then the little arm. So I think it really turns out, the baby, Groot piece really works out. I think it probably even works out better than the baby piece, because if I use like the baby piece, for example, it would have like a defined head to it, and Plankton's kind of just one big blob of plankton. So I thought this turned out really well. And also, you can't have Plankton without his wife Karen, which is going to be hard to put on the display stand because I actually did not make it attachable to studs. Shoot, I should have thought this before I made the... Let's see, is there any flat pieces I have just laying around? Just give me a second. I can find it. Come on. I have a flat tile somewhere. Aha, here you go. Alright, hold up. Let me just put this on there so actually put Karen. Alright, that doesn't look too good. Just too good, get it here. Alright. Here we got Karen, Plankton's wife, which I haven't seen any customs of this. But I really like how this turned out. This is like probably the simplest custom out of all of them. This is just, obviously this build. It's just a plate that I painted. So, Lego could even make this, just custom printed plate on one of these. I like to call them the pieces from what's it called? Brickhead. I like to call them the brickhead pieces. So just on one of these missile pieces onto an upside down like round piece. Boom. And also stud with hole in it. And then I'm just gonna hold this one because it's easier than putting it on the display stand. And then also on the bottom, I put some wheels, indication of wheels, because Karen does have wheels. Okay. And actually, some of these are actually from, I didn't have enough black tiles, so yeah, and maybe I should use black studs. But hold on, let me show. So I really like how this turned out, even though it's pretty simple, but it goes well. You put them next to look at that. Oh, and the head kind of turns a little, so you could use that for giving an expression, I guess. Hey, you got Karen and Plankton coming up with some more schemes. Fun fact: the voice actress for Karen is actually, I think, the voice actress for Karen in real life is actually the wife of the voice actor who plays SpongeBob. So I thought that's kind of a funny fact that Plankton's wife is actually SpongeBob's wife in real life. So, that's kind of funny. Alright, last figure I have to show you is a figure I really made recently. And it's an improved version of... improved version of Mr. Eugene Krabs. I really like this figure. Unfortunately, I tried to make the zigzaggy nose, and I wasn't really able to, so I just kind of made a straight up, kind of more of a straight nose, like SpongeBob. It's the only one I actually gave a three-dimensional nose to, because I thought it would look good with. I do like it. It looks a bit weird from the side, not gonna lie. But I like from, front angle, I feel like it looks better. Now, Eugene Krabs, I painted on sleeves. Now I didn't make it fully kind of dual molded, because if it was fully dual molded, it would like go down to here. Instead, I gave him the short sleeves because he does have short sleeves. But if Lego did this, they would do fully dual molded, which I don't know if a piece exists that's dual molded, red and light blue. So, and I also, some minor things is the original figure had blue pants. It was dark blue pants. So I decided, actually not dark blue, just regular blue, like I have this shade of blue, right? So instead, I actually gave him purple, because if you look at the cartoon or just the reference images, sometimes it looks like more purple, and sometimes it looks like it's dark blue. So it's really hard to tell either way. So I decided just to go with a different approach than Lego did and try it with purple. And I really do like how it turned out. I should have painted on the feet. I was gonna do that, but I don't know why I didn't. Now I feel like I'm recording this video preemptively, but whatever. But I really do like how I gave him a different expression than Legos. You got that kind of sideways mouth looking thing, like a cartoon mouth. And, the kind of squinted, like, hey, give me your money. SpongeBob. I really do like making kind of cartoony sideways mouths on Lego figures. A good example is my Steamboat Willie figure. I gave him a kind of sideways cartoonish mouth where it doesn't make sense from one angle, because I thought it would look, more accurate. And, just painting on mouths like that look a lot better than molded mouths, in my opinion. But even though Plankton's mouth wasn't originally molded, but I just kind of gave it a different expression, and because you got the generic wide grin, it's kind of like every image of Plankton I found online had that. So I decided, spruce up the expression, make it different. Maybe I should have done that with some of the other figures, like SpongeBob and maybe Patrick, to kind of make it different than Legos, instead of, doing what I did and just kind of improving them in general. But, so those are all my figures I have. So, I just want to thank everyone that watches this channel for, watching the channel and, being a cool dude. And, so that's let me focus on the figures so you don't have to see just a blurry screen while I rant about what I'm going to rant about. Yeah, so that's just, basically, that's my video. I just want to thank everyone for, even though 2020, hasn't been the brightest year or the sharpest year in the shed, it's still, it had me bringing back this channel. So that's a good thing. And I just want to thank everyone that watches, that enjoys the content, that, you're a bunch of chads. You already know this. I hope you know this. You're all really cool. And, just have, like a nice day in general. And it's been cool having this channel. It's been a fun outlet to kind of share my customs and whatnot. Even though they ain't the best customs in the world. This channel ain't the biggest channel in the world, but I really do appreciate what I have, and with you guys and whatnot, and also just me being on the OSRS. And this year was great because I got to meet all of the OSRSers. I believe that was this. Yeah, that was this year. So I got to meet all the OSRSers really in person. It started with Machine X when it was his birthday, and he invited me onto his stream. Ever since then, I've been interacting with the OSRS through the podcast, and it's been a great year. Just for I'm talking about the OSRSers, but for the not for the OSRS, because Justin this year has been doing kind of, I mean, not, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was this year, like at least the end of the year, he's been doing like not a great job with OSRS. It's kind of a crap job, but but besides that, OSRS, just the OSRSers, it's been great. Getting to meet all the OSRSers. They're such cool people. They're really nice, and go subscribe to, if you go to Machine X and go to channels, he has links to all of the OSRSers that have YouTube channels. So go check them out. I'm too lazy to kind of link all my links. Who knows? You could go check the description, see if I was not lazy enough to do that. But yeah, so just it was a great 2020 because I got to meet the OSRSers and I got to build this channel because of them. So I just want to give a big shout out to the OSRSers. And even though this year, for many people has not been the best, and me included, I've had several plans that have just been canceled because of the little known thing called the big V that we don't speak of in this Christian household. But no, yeah, it's in general just been a good year for just OSRS, and kind of gives me an excuse to do these videos because I can't really go anywhere. So yeah. And yeah, so if you like this video, leave it a like. And like I said, have a nice day. And you know what's more important than having a nice day or watching, or not watching, or subscribing to the OSRS. I kind of spoiled it already. But what's more important than that? Watching Rango. So yeah, ciao.